Our culture of holding everything in. And when I say our culture, that word our, we, it's a tricky word again, but I'm referring to it's mostly British European influenced cultures, so Western culture in that sense. So I live in the US and I'll talk about culture from my experience in the US, which is similar to a lot of the same like colonial British cultures. And people are conditioned to be very stoic and not expressive at all. And we see this in the school system. Children who are, children play and children learn through doing things and through using their imagination and hands-on. But they're told in school to sit down and shut up. So from the jump off, we have discrepancy between who we are and what we're told we're supposed to do or how we're supposed to behave. Our behavior is supposed to be stoic and we're supposed to hold things in and act kind of robotic, because society is based upon people behaving like robots, people being like cogs in a machine, and it can't operate the way it does if everyone is embracing their uniqueness and expressing themselves and releasing the negativity they're holding on. But it works like a charm when people just behave like robots and hold things in and go about their daily lives because they're afraid to make waves and they're afraid to be called weird by other people. And it's especially prevalent in like the middle class suburban culture, because these are often the most indoctrinated people into the system, the people that go through the school system, get the best grades, go through college, get a good job. Everyone in that system becomes cogs within the system. And on other sides of the spectrum, like if you go to inner cities or, you see Latin American culture, if you see any Hispanic people in the US, they're not as stoic, they're way more expressive than your typical whitewashed American, Yeah. So another point is that you really have to buck that cultural conditioning to be the greatest version of yourself. You're not going to be the greatest version of yourself if you do everything you're told to do and you hold everything in, because that creates an anxiety-driven robot. You become this programmed robot who has this chasm of anxiety because there's a gap between who you really are and who you're acting, that mask that you're putting on because of societal pressure and conditioning. And because of this societal pressure, we hold things in. Like, for example, I was in an airport a couple months ago, in the Bogota, Colombia airport, and I had a few hours to kill, so I decided to work out. I expressed myself through workout because I was sitting all day on planes and stuff. And you get strange looks from people when you do this, even though it's something that's really beneficial for me and I'm not hurting anyone, but people still give you weird looks. And I bet if I was in the US, I would have gotten even weirder looks. But why are things like that taboo? You can't do like a few sit-ups or push-ups in an airport. That's taboo, and people look at you like you're a weirdo. Like, in any of those situations, if you're on an airplane or an airport, just look at people. Everyone sits down and they're incredibly stoic and unexpressive. You see very few people like stretching or laughing or doing anything to express themselves, besides some children. So it's weird how we have that underlying current of like we're supposed to act that way, and people are deathly afraid of acting in another manner because they're so afraid of what other people think. And that's a big form of slavery. That's a form of mental slavery, is caring what other people think. And they think people are going to judge them or something like that. But here's the thing. Once you start acting on your genuine desires, I'm talking genuine desires. You know what they are, like intuitively. Not like going around seeking attention and things like that. That's egoic desires. But when you act on your genuine desires, no one judges you. You know, you might get some of those weird looks, but it's only because those people that are giving you weird looks are envious and they wish they had the self-confidence to truly express who they are. And most people just admire you when you act like that. And that's, again, assuming that you're not like craving attention and doing it from that place. There's a difference between heart-based intuitive desires and egoic desires. And yeah, that's another video in and of itself. But it all comes down to this. There's so many aspects of our culture that are designed to homogenize us and to keep us in a box and to keep us as a robot in the machine or a cog in the system. And speaking of machine, I just saw a performance of Rage Against the Machine circulating online where I forgot the name of the song. Oh, Killing in the Name of. And that mantra, that chant at the end, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. That's crucial, you know? Everyone needs to take that to heart. Because we need to stand up for ourselves. We can't... Do you know, like, all the atrocities in the world happen because people do what they're told. Right? The Holocaust happened because German people did what they were told. You know, wars only happen because people do what they're told. If everyone lays their arms aside, war can't happen. Like Einstein said, the pioneers of a warless world are the youth who refuse military service. So you need to dig into the depths of your authenticity and express yourself and stand up for yourself and say, I won't do what you tell me. And that you could be general, it could be cultural, whatever. But really, really get back into your authenticity and your individuality and express that. Express it without fear. Be who you are because it's so important. And if you're not doing that, it's squashing a gift for yourself and the world as well. Because we're all unique. We came here to express and experience the human perspective from unique perspectives. So it's all about embracing that uniqueness because we're all unique little snowflakes here. And get used to expressing yourself. Get used to being genuine because it's that important. All right? Peace, peace, much love, and one love.